This is my all-time favorite phaser panel, the Ibanez Phase Tone 2, the PT-707. And this is my all-time favorite flanger pedal, the FL303, also by Ibanez. Both were made in Japan 1976, so they're almost, nearly half a century old by now. Now I love these pedals, but I'm a little bit apprehensive of taking them on the road with me because, they're kind of delicate. They have a sentimental value for me. And truth be told, I'm not sure how reliable they really are. So when I'm out there, this thing takes care of all my flanger and phaser needs, the Boss GT-1000 core. And like all the other effects in this unit, the phaser and the flanger sound really good. So they got me thinking, maybe I could dial them in so I would have my old vintage Ibanez pedals in here. I gave it a try. So I gave it a try and I put the pedals in the loop of the GT-1000 core and I A/B them against each other, and I sort of came close, but not close enough. I could still really clearly tell the difference. So I contacted the good people at GuitarEffects.eu, Holland's premier guitar guru, and their CEO Stefan said, I'll have a go at it. So he did some measurements and he checked things out, and he made it, and the results are simply stunning. In fact, it was practically impossible for me to tell the difference, not only in sound, but in feel and everything. So clearly GuitarEffects.eu nailed it. Now I could waste everybody's time by letting you listen to them side by side and have you guessing which one is which, but I got a much better idea. Why don't I just give you the GT-1000 settings for free? I'm going to give you the settings and the presets in a minute, but before I do, there are 3 things you got to keep in mind. The emulations in the GT-1000 core were based on my personal pedals. Now, of course, they sound really different than when they rolled out of the factory nearly half a century ago. And even back then, they didn't all sound the same. So you're not getting a generic vintage Ibanez pedal. You're going to get mine. The pedals were modeled with my favorite settings in mind, and of course you can change those in the GT-1000 core, but remember the controls will react a little bit different, more linear, but of course you can change those settings. Now, the settings on my Ibanez pedals were dialed in for replacement before drive pedals and before preamps. So where you would also put a wah pedal, for instance. That doesn't mean you can put these emulations in the loop of your amp, but it's going to sound different from what you're about to hear. And it will still sound like those pedals. It's just not my cup of tea. I prefer them before the dirt. So before the preamp and before any drive pedal. So there you go. Now, if you want to download these TSL files, just check the link below the video. And all that's left for me to do is to thank Stefan at GuitarEffects.eu for the marvelous job he did, and the good people at Boss for making a gizmo that's actually capable of capturing all this. And I'll see you next time. Bye.